So again, I'm Tiana with TianaSmoothCoaching.com. This is a part of the Mastermind to Master Your Business Online podcast, YouTube video series, part of my 7-figure club training, where it's a high level approach to really growing and scaling your business. And so I'm really excited to talk to you today about sales calls. Now, I don't have somebody here to do a script with me. I definitely would like to do that in the future live. I've done it in the past many times. If you search on my YouTube, you can find it. But I want to walk you through more of the mindset and my personal scripts that I use to teach my 7-figure club clients. How do you actually run a sales call? So I'm not going to be covering how do you get somebody on a sales call. There's multiple techniques. This is actually, you've got the sales call scheduled. What do you say? Because it really, really matters. So I'm going to be sharing my screen and kind of walking you through one of my scripts. And I have multiple scripts that I give people, train people with, just depending on where we're at and what somebody is selling. But in general, these principles apply to anything and anyone. I've helped people sell on their nutritional products this way, super high ticket programs with pay in full of $20,000 all the way down to $180 sale. One thing I do want to tell you is like when people say, oh, the money, people have said that at $100 sale or a $20,000 sale. And then sometimes people haven't said it about a $20,000 sale or a $100 sale. So this is a mindset. This is not about what you're selling. It's more about who you're selling to and what questions you're asking. Sales is absolutely about confidence, and you got to work through the fear of getting on a sales call in order to get good at it. Because really, what is there to fear? If you're selling something that you believe in is going to change people's lives, then you've got to just go for it. And that's that. Okay, so let's go through a sales call. So I'm going to take you through my tracked high ticket client script. And I really want to walk you through the importance of what all these things really mean. I'm going to draw our attention here so we don't have to look at all these tabs. There we go. Okay, there we go. Full screen here. So part 1 is the conversation, and you are in control of the conversation, and you do need to write that down. You do need to control the conversation. If not, it's going to be chasing unicorns and smoke in the wind. Okay. So the point of it is you're going to preface the sales call with what you want to how you want to lead this. So essentially, hey, how are you? Take a couple minutes to get a feel for it, but really just a couple. Again, this is not friend to get to know each other. You have an offering and this is the way you're selling it. So then you're going to be very direct. Okay. Hey, Erica, we have about 20 minutes to do this call together. The best way to run this call is I'm going to ask you several questions to learn more about you and your goals. And again, friends, goals, it doesn't matter what you're selling here. What I need for you is to be honest with me so I can give you the best answers I know to help you solve your problems and accomplish your goals. Is that okay with you? Say yes. Okay. If they say yes, now the 5 questions begin. If they say no, you're like, okay, that's fine. Like, let's just jump off the call, because literally you don't want to waste your time. But they're going to usually say yes. They book the call. Hopefully you had them fill out a quiz ahead of time, right? So this is not a cold call, by the way. This is something somebody scheduled a sales call. Side note, this is not a cold call. So this is where they're actually interested in you sharing the opportunity. Another great thing you can put in this right here would say something like, look, there, Tiana, let's say you're calling for somebody else, or if you're calling about yourself, which most people are, just say, I have a few different packages depending on people's budget and time. And when you answer these questions for me, I'm going to be able to decide if one of these packages would be a good fit for you. And if none of them are, I'm going to be honest with you about that. There are no strings attached. Does that sound good to you? See what I mean? So I'm prefacing it. I'm letting them know I'm going to run this call. I need them to answer honestly, and we're going to both be accountable to each other. Okay. So there are different questions that you're going to dive into depending upon what it is you're selling. they will be centered around what goals are you trying to achieve? What will that mean for you? Where are you right now? What's it going to cost you to stay here? And how long do you want to wait before you make these changes? So I'm going to use a replay. I'm going to let you know how I would run this. Okay. I'm going to be Tiana and I'm going to be Erica. So I'm going to sell my product to Erica. Now, one thing I do want to preface this with is that you should have open in another window your sales PDF, right? Like, so you need to know whether it's your thing or somebody else's thing, what it is you're selling. So as they're asking questions, you want to take notes, you want to be present. Do not do not have your phone beside you. Do not be looking at anything else. Do not be just like, you're losing the call. Sales is absolutely all about being present, being respectful. And if anything, absolutely take notes on what they're saying. And that's going to win them over too, because you are listening to them, you are hearing them, you are focused in on them, and you're showing up either way. And you're not emotionally attached to the outcome, but you're going all in, you're giving it your all. And that's all you can control in life. So what I'm sharing here is like very serious, like this is how you run this. So if we go back through this and understand there's a lot of you're not actually talking. I want to point out this page that I give my clients is you do not start talking. You do the intro. This is very, very important. And this is where people get off track with sales. You are asking questions and you're being quiet. So literally you have to get practice at this. Okay, so why don't you tell me what are the goals you're trying to achieve in your business right now? And then I'm being quiet. And then Erica's like, well, look, I've been doing this thing and this thing hasn't been working. And then I tried this thing and then this thing doesn't work. And I'm like, okay. Now, sometimes I might say, so it sounds like and I'm using well, actually in therapy, it's called fair fighting, where essentially I repeat back to them what I feel like they are trying to communicate to me to make sure we're on the same page. And again, that makes them feel very heard, right? So if she's telling me, well, like I took this other course and actually signed up with this other mastermind, and it was $20,000. And really, then I just realized that I still had to do all this work and I still had to build my own funnels and I don't have good branding. And even though I know I need to work with you, I don't know how I'm going to really I already spent all this money. So I'm feeling kind of bad. So I'm listening, right? And I'm like, okay, I hear you. And then I'm going to ask the next question. I'm not really recapping yet. Now I'm going to say, okay, so you told me that you would like to reach a $20,000 per month goal. Is that correct? And she says, yes. And I'm like, okay, so what will that mean to you? How will your life change when you're making $20,000 a month in your business? So essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm refocusing her off of all the problems. Like I need to hear all those problems because I'm going to address that at the end of the call, right? This part is I'm taking notes. I am writing down key points, words she keeps saying, he keeps saying, and then I'm still refocusing this onto a goal now. Okay, so what would that mean to you? Then Erica says something like, well, it could be maybe my husband could come and work with me. I could take my kids out of public school, put them in private school, and we could finally go on that trip to Hawaii. And really, I could just be like, not be stressed out about where my next income is coming from. And I'm like, yeah, I love that. Like, so I might say some short words, but I'm not telling my stories. Like, this is still listening. It's about her. And so then I say, okay, well, how close have you gotten to that goal? That's the, where are you right now? Okay. So you said you want to make $20,000 per month, Erica. So how close have you gotten to that goal? And then she's like, oh, well, I've only made like 5,000, or maybe she's made 10,000. We're going to say 5,000. Well, I've made 5,000, one time 7,000, but average 5,000 a month. And I'm like, okay. And I might dig a little bit more. This is dig into every question. So what all have you tried to hit the 20,000? Like, what do you think isn't working then? How long, she's had $20,000 goal. And then she might list now some more problems. These things I'm writing down. This is amazing research. Side note, friends, write everything down because this is the wording of your ICA. Whether or not the person buys from you on the call, you're getting this amazing information from them. And this is so key. I don't know why more people don't do sales calls. I don't know why people run away from them. This is me, side note. So let's come back to Erica though. Okay. So Erica's letting me know all these problems. And I'm like, okay, so you're at 5,000, you want to be at 20,000. I'm repeating her goals back to her. And you're letting me know that you've tried a lot of different things. You've tried courses, you've tried figuring it out on your own. You've tried doing it yourself. You're not getting there. So $20,000. So I like to do something like this. So what you're telling me is you're averaging about $70,000 a year. And your real goal though is 20,000, like 240K or like 250K a year or so. And like, yeah, okay. So you're about $170,000 from that essentially. And she's like, yeah. So what is it going to cost you, Erica, if nothing changes? This is a really key point. So we led with how's your life going to look different? But this is really also important to like, I like to hit the pain at the end. Some people do the high at the end, but I think it's really important to bring people back down to where they really are, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Okay. So I'm saying to Erica, what is it going to cost you to stay here? You're letting me know. This is where I'll talk a little more, that you're making $5,000 a month. It's not covering all your family's bills. But why don't you tell me, like, if in 1 year it keeps going, like, what would this year look like if you stay stuck at 5,000? And then she's going to tell me, and she's going to be sitting with it. Well, my husband's going to continue working 70 hours a week, and my kids are staying in public school, and one of them's getting bullied, and it's been really difficult. And the school's so big, they don't really care. I don't get to go to the spa. I can't afford to go on vacation. And then they're going to repeat all those high notes of how their life would change. They don't get to do that. You see what I mean? And this is not to manipulate or to make people feel bad. This is actually it's a slap in the face of reality. And it is what's truly needed. Being good at sales means that you care. The thing that you're offering them, whether it's money, whether it's a fitness thing, like we all have pain points in different areas. Okay. So I'm talking about a pain point in business where people keep trying things and I'm able to help them actually break through. Your solution might be different, but the point is you have to go to the pain. I'll give you an example of this from me in my life, in an area that I've been working on is my body. So, my trainer, if anybody follows my journey to Visa, I work with Miss Universe in the master's division of natural bodybuilding. And, she flew out here and we're literally looking in the mirror and she's telling me to look at my own self in the mirror. And she's already won me over as a client, but this is just a reality. And you might have to do this with clients. This is very important. And she's like, you tell me what you want to change about your body and what you're willing to do to get there. That's what this question is. And in life and in business, it affects not just you, it affects your family. So in your body, you might be able to get by and it is affecting your family. You are like not being a good example to your kids, things like that when you're unhealthy. But in your finances, it's very clear very quickly that we're not living the life we say we want, right? So then we end with this. Okay, so how long do you want to wait to make these changes? And if their answer isn't yesterday or right now, they're probably not in the right place mentally, just so you know. And I asked these questions ahead of time, a few of these on a quiz, but this is how you lead people through this process. And when I was first starting sales, I don't really have these out now, but these are really good questions. You can write your own, fill it in, but you want to dig in. And so now what you're going to do is now comes your turn. You're going to repeat back to them. And this is your pitch, but it's so much deeper than that, right? Because I actually care about what I do and actually know for a fact that my business helps other people change their lives. My trainer knows that her training helps people trim down, get confident, believe in themselves again, have better sex with their partners, whatever it is. Everybody see what I mean? Your one goal on the front changes lots of parts of your life. So your fitness goal, it might be well, I want to look that way. Well, it's much more than looking that way. You want to feel a certain way. Your partner then feels a certain way about you. Your kids then believe that they don't have to struggle with weight the way you guys see what I mean? No matter what transformation you're going through or selling, it affects lots of other parts of life, if not every part of life. So what I'm about to do is I'm going to break it down for Erica. Everybody ready? This is how I would do it. I'd be looking at this. I'd be having my notes on the side and I would say to her, and I will say it to you face to face. Erica, you just let me know. Let me make sure. Can I repeat back to you what I heard you saying through this call to make sure we're on the same page? And she's going to say yes. So this is how I would say it. I'd say, Erica, you've let me know that you've been trying to make something work for 3 years in your business, and you keep getting stuck at 5K. You've taken courses, you've tried doing it yourself, you've tried building websites. Is all that correct? She's like, yes. Okay. You've let me know that your goal is $20,000 per month. And that if you can hit that $20,000 per month every single month, it would mean that you and your husband get to go on vacation in Venice, or you can take your kids away for the whole summer. You're going to put your kids in private school, and your husband could come work alongside you and pursue his passions as well. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. And also you get to do fun things like go to the massage and go to spa days and treat your friends and meet up with your girlfriends more often, right? And she's like, yes. And so she's like excited. She's seeing the 20,000. Okay, cool. Amazing. Now, what you've let me know is that you've tried all these other things and that you're ready to get started now on making those $20,000 months. And you also let me know that if you don't commit to that, you're going to continue to have to live where you're living now and you're renting instead of owning, that your kids are going to have to stay in public school. Your husband's going to have to keep his job, and you're going to have to keep trying to figure it all out on your own. Is that also correct? Yes. Okay. So judging by your answers that you have told me today, you absolutely are the perfect fit for my 8-week Biz in a Box boot camp. And that's my all-in-one, arm-in-arm, hand-in-hand program. That's 8 weeks, 1-to-1, and an entire year of helping you scale in my 7-figure club. Would you like me to walk you through that program? And she's going to say yes. So this is then where I'm going to walk her through my program. And this is where I said you need to have your PDF up. So I'm actually going to go grab my PDF. And there's a few ways you can do this. I'm actually going to go grab it into my high level account. So let me go get in your drive. I do recommend you guys, like if you have organized drives. So I have my 7-figure club and team files. So I usually have this pulled up. I'll show you kind of how I organize things. I was going to take you guys through a goal setting thing today, but we're going to stay focused on the PDF because I'm just going to make sure I have the actual PDF that is today's, which I'm pretty sure is this one. Okay. So then I'm like, I share my screen like this and I'm like, okay, Erica, let me take you through this. And page 1, you can read out, essentially what I'm letting you know is that I do help coaches and course creators scale to their first actually 5 figures, 6 figures, 7, 8 figures. I have a proven track record of doing this for over a decade, and I've been in business for myself for over 20 years. So this has come from a lot of experience building thousands of funnels and having a lot of testimonials. Okay. So you are the perfect fit of somebody that I've seen scale to 7 figures. And I'm saying that honestly, I do not pitch this at that point. So just understand I'm not pitching unless it's a good fit. Okay. Now, what I'm going to take her through is I focus on 3 elements. You mentioned that you've taken courses, you've tried the do-it-yourself approach, and it's been really challenging, right, Erica? And she's like, yeah. So we're going to hone in on luxury branding, and it's done for you. You and I will come up with your logo, a color palette, fonts, messaging. And sometimes some clients hire me and they already have a website and a logo. So I say, okay, maybe this new program we're launching for you, I'll help you create a logo for that, branding for that, your sales offering for that, okay? The second part is cash injection coaching. So while we're building things, after we get your branding up, I'm also going to support you in creating cash flow, immediate cash flow. And everybody loves this, right? So that's strategy. There's coaching. We've got Zoom calls. You can WhatsApp me every day. I'm going to jump into more of that support in a minute, but it's built on these 3 pinnacles. And 3 is done for you funnels. So side note to everybody watching, what I'm doing here, this is why it's very important to have a well-designed, you know what your offer is, you know when they're saying it, essentially it's already laid out. So I've listened to my clients for years and years, and I created these 3 pinnacles based on what I hear people saying. So if you don't know what your clients want, you absolutely can create a program after, but I believe it's much better this way. Doing it this way changed my business for life. This is me just talking straight to you, all my like mastermind, master your business online crew. Okay. 7-figure club. This is separate than Tiana and Erica right now. Like having these things in line, I get it ASAP, you know, and I do teach this in my programs. And then 3, let's go back to Tiana and Erica, snap back. Okay. done for you funnels. And that's where I'm going to actually build out your funnels, the ones that you need, that your two that you need right now in your goal setting. You told me that you don't have a website that's saying what you need, and you don't have a list offer that's growing and automating. So we're going to start with those two, Erica, and we're going to build that in. So side note, I'm using assumptive positioning with Erica. I'm going to assume we haven't talked price point. Side note to everybody. People do know my price points. I put them on the quiz. I don't even get on a call with somebody. If Erica was on this call with me, she already filled out a quiz. She already knows my price points start at 20,000 for these kinds of programs. She knows that. So this is not a surprise. Surprise, it's $25,000. No, she already knows. And I literally wouldn't get on a sales call to talk to her if she did not say she had money in hand. I would have sent her to a course. Okay. So I would have been like, no problem. If you don't have cash to invest at this level, here's a program that's got a smaller payment plan. This is my course. I do not get on sales calls, nor my team, unless somebody says they have $20,000 or more to invest. And we do offer payment plans and financing, but they have to be at that level where they're serious about scaling to multi 6, 7 figures. Okay. So that's where we walk through. Then my sales PDF, and I just breeze over this because they can download it later. They're usually have already made a decision before they've gotten on the call, but I'm like, okay, Erica. So just to breeze us through real quick, let me know, do you have any questions? They're usually like, no, they're just listening because I let them talk. I showed them that respect. Now they're letting me talk. And then, but they absolutely can ask questions. They normally don't have any. It's all right here. Luxury branding. I'm going to walk you through that. We're going to put all your colors and all your fonts and everything in Canva. I'm also going to preload your Canva with our 35 highest call to action posts. So part of the cash injection coaching is you're going to know exactly when to post on social, what to say. This is all included in your package. This is a one and done package. And then let's talk about your cash injection coaching. You're going to get 8 calls with me and the 7-figure club team. You're going to get recording of your Zoom calls. You're going to have weekly to-dos and milestones. You're going to have a whole app access and group call support right away. This is a one and done system. I keep repeating words that are very important, like one and done. Okay. Funnels and systems set up. So don't get bored and don't rush your offer. You dug into their goals. Now you go and talk about why these things will help her goals. So this is a side note. This is a listening skill. It does take practice. But when she said like, I don't feel like I have time because my husband and the kids, I'm like, so part of the done for you funnels, Erica, is that like, it's actually not a lot of your time. You and I are going to meet, me and my team are going to get to work and let you know daily what we're working on if we need anything from you, but we're really carrying most of the load. There's a few things we'll need from you, but no more than a couple hours a week, really. We're taking care of everything for you. Do you guys see how delicious that sounds? We're taking care of everything for you. We're doing daily check-ins. We're letting you know what we're working on, and you have a way to be in touch with us as much as you possibly want. See, so it's VIP concierge service right here. Okay. Now I love this page. I've created this more recently, the best investment guaranteed. So it's essentially a bullet point of what they're getting with a smiling picture. And really, this is my personal goal in my business, is that I want them to look at our packages as the best investment they've ever made into their business. Like that's my personal goal when I put it together. So and then we let them stay in the club up to 6 months or until they have doubled their investment. They're not going to have to pay anything else. So people love that because we give them a longer runway, not super long. We want them to hit their goals, but we do say, look, we want to help you to like get that return on investment and even double it. So you'll have up to 6 months into the club. As long as you're showing up and doing the work, you can stay in it past that, but you'll have to start paying once you've doubled your investment. So like, if you're like, okay, this is $25,000 on a payment plan or 20K pay in full, but you're letting somebody know like, yeah, but if you're going to make 40K and then you have the option to scale your business to 7 figures, 25,000 is not that much money. People spend it on a car, vehicle that's not, making them money. So it's all about where people's values are. And whether you're selling $1,000 program, a $3,000 program, this process works, and you want to take them through it in a specific way. And so you're like, okay, so we take Visa, bank transfer, Zelle, or Venmo. How would you like to pay today? And Venmo, we do take it, but like you can only cap it at 4K. So essentially, usually we'll send an invoice, or we do take a bank transfer, usually on the higher amounts, or a business credit card. And I do talk to her like, listen, she's like, okay, I'm ready to pay right now. And I'm like, okay, just to be clear, there are no refunds. This work starts immediately. We give you access to our $100,000 mastermind immediately, part of this program, which comes with 7-figure funnels. So you get deliverables that are worth multi 6 figures within 24 hours of signing up. And we have no control of taking that back. So there are no refunds. If you do for some reason ever file chargeback and things go awry, we will be taking legal action. So are we good? Like, are you all in on this? So essentially, like, I just put all the things out on the table. I make sure she's all in. It is no pressure. And then she's ready to go. Now, let's say that she wants to think about it, talk to her spouse. At this point, I might say, listen, before you got on this call, I did say, like, this is how much it costs. And you knew that that person should have been on the call. So, I actually don't really get that anymore, that objection. So let's talk about objections for just a moment. I usually don't get many objections because I've already gone through the objections in my pre-qualification quiz. So I have a whole funnel that I build that before I even get on this call, people have gone through. It's very in depth. It already gives the pricing. Actually, I already did a walkthrough of what I just walked all of you through. But getting on a one-to-one call when somebody's looking at paying 25,000 to 50,000 for something is a big deal. I personally don't want to work with people I don't like. I have other products I can sell that are automated money. So I only take on 1 to 2, maybe a month of one-to-one clients. So I personally interview my clients because I'm the one working with them. I have some team members who follow up or book a call for me, but I'm interviewing them because it's my energy. It is my brain. It is my strategy. It's my emotions attached to this. So I think sales calls are super important to do in business. I've taught people who've never done a sales call before start to close. I've led teams. I've been hired by companies to help people with this. And that was even before I was that studied. I will tell you, learning a script like this, I based this script off of 3 different experiences, just so you know where this all comes from. One is I listened to this awesome guy. His name's Chris Harder, if you know who he is. And at the time, I was a part of a company, and he had done a free podcast training, and he went step by step like this. I literally listened to it. I had my kids were so small at the time, and I really was serious about getting better at sales and talking to people and talking to strangers and communicating. And he literally walked through like this, ask this question. And he's like, goals in one hand, their budget in the other. Now I run my sales calls a little different now because I sell higher ticket than I used to. But I will tell you, he used to say, get their goals in one hand, get their budget in the other. And then you combine those to create the solution for them. And so that's what I do now on the quiz, because if somebody doesn't have a 25,000 or above budget, I don't do the call anymore. But before, when I used to sell lower ticket, I would. So I would ask them ahead of time, which of these programs are you most interested in? So that's the budget piece. So that's how I do it. I pre-qualify at that level, and then you get their goals. And if you can just visualize and say it with me, like goals in one hand, budget in the other, create a solution. And then I hired 2 other sales professionals, just like some small consulting to help me. And they really helped me. And essentially they said the exact same thing. And now anytime I ever download something, or I listen to Sabri Sibian sales, or Alice Ramosi and Eileen Wilder, people that are really 8-figure, 9-figure, 10-figure earners, they're all saying the same exact things. And I've had clients in those levels too, and they say the same things. I've actually been hired by one of the top salespeople who sells for a lot of the top funnel builders. And he says the same thing. I've even seen his scripts. So this is based off of connecting emotionally first, being present with people, and then having something to look at, because just like anything, it's a skill. Winging it doesn't work, right? Like So I just want to express, like, this is really important to follow a script. It is important to understand you're asking questions and you're being quiet. Now it's gonna, if the client asks a question, then you ask a question back, you get it back on track. If needed, if somebody's being really pushy on a call, honestly, I just don't think they're a good fit for me. And I'll just say, look, this isn't going to be a good fit. If for some reason I totally misjudged their energy before a call, or I might say, listen, you said at the beginning of this call that, I'm going to move into objections right now, by the way, of how to handle a call. You said at the beginning of the call that you were okay with me guiding this conversation. I'm not going to know what a good package might be for you if you don't let me ask these specific questions. Are you still good for us to move through this process? And they're like, yes. I'm like, okay, so here's my next question for you. But just so you know, it usually doesn't come to that, because if you just care about humans and you have some questions beside you and you dig in, but I will say it took a lot of practice to get to where I am, but now I can naturally just do it. And I find it fun. I actually love a good sales call. I actually love talking to a stranger that I've never talked to. I'm actually talking to a stranger this Wednesday again, like, no, someone I've never talked to. I used to sell for other people. I'd get on a call. Somebody would do a 3-way intro when I was doing sales training. They're like, hey, this is my friend Amanda. I'm going to introduce you to Tiana because she knows more about the products than I, and she's going to take it away. And I would be able to sell to these strangers on the spot, get their credit card. It's not hard when you actually learn there's a system to it and you care about people. And if that person, if you dig into their goals hard enough, they're selling it themselves. Cause look, take Erica's story, for example. She's like, she just repeated to you, to all of us, we're pretending Erica's real here. Erica is very frustrated. Her husband hates his job. He's working 70 hours a week. Somebody doesn't pay him enough. He hates his life, which is going to make Erica's life harder, because as good wives love their husband and they don't want them overworking, right? She also has 2 kids who are in public school, and that's stressful if the kids aren't being looked after. And there's nothing wrong with public school, friends. We're talking about people's individual goals. My kids go to public school. But the thing is, like, whatever your individual goals are, if money is the reason that it's not hitting, like, she can't go get a mani-pedi, she can't go get a massage, she can't go on vacation to Disney World with her family, right? Erica told us all these things. So then when she repeats it back that, okay, she's already tried for 3 years this other thing. And I will say things like this, Erica, listen, you told me that you were ready to get started. You filled out the thing. Let's go back to, she's giving me some, I don't know if I can invest. I'm like, look, you don't have to invest. You knew the price points before you got on this call. And you also know, like me, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So you told me that you do not want to keep struggling at 5,000 a month, that it's not comfortable for you and your family, and you want to get to 20K, and you've tried lots of other things. Are you ready to do this thing with me and us get you some proven results? And I will be alongside you the whole way. And remember, you can stay in the 7-figure club until you've doubled your investment. And that's when they're like, yeah. So the only thing at that point would be like, she either lied on her form that she has money to invest, or she's just not a good fit. Like, to me, those are the only 2 things. So if I pre-qualified somebody well enough, then there should be no question that they're signing up today, because I already gave them the information. They told me they have money to invest, and we're vibing. I'm talking to her. I care about her, and my program will solve that problem. So it's either they're not a good fit for the program, that their problem will not be solved by what I share, which means, or they lied on the quiz and they don't have money to invest, or they wasted my time and they're kind of a person who's a tire kicker. But I don't consider it wasting my time, because as I mentioned before, there's a reason for each of it. And maybe they say yes later, or maybe like, but the point is, you do want to get that yes or no. And so here's the ending part of this before we go today is, you need to get a yes or no within 48 hours. Like, if it's a no, it's a not right now, that's fine. Put her on the follow-up later list. But what you're looking for is a yes or no decision. And never count your chickens before they're hatched, meaning unless that money has been put into your bank account, it is not a yes. It's just not. Verbal yes is not a yes. The only yes that counts is a credit card, debit card, bank transfer that has gone through, is in your account. That is the only yes that matters. So the thing with sales that I would like to talk to everybody about before we go is just to actually be a boss about it. Sales is what is the blood of your business. There is no oxygen, there is no blood, there is no life in your body, your business without sales. So if you can't get serious about getting on sales call, on emotionally detaching from, yes, being the best salesperson on your team, I actually think that every entrepreneur should be the best salesperson on your team. Because before you can hire a salesperson, I promise you're not going to probably even attract somebody who's that good to be sales on your team if you're not good sales on your team. You've got to just learn that sales is where it's at. If you're a part of something that you believe in, it should not be hard to sell. The issue typically is you don't want to be seen as salesy and sleazy. Whatever. Sleazy is not the same as salesy. Two is that you don't know how to run the sales call. I just am teaching that. Number three is you have to overcome your own mindset issues or your business will never succeed. But if you can be confident, you know that you have something of value, you care about people, you show up in the marketplace giving a lot of value, you absolutely can overcome that. But I will say that when I got just more intentional about these questions, man, it got so much easier. And especially when I had my sales qualification funnel. So I'll actually share my sales qualification funnel with you before we go. And if you go to scalewithtiana.com, this funnel totally changed my life and business almost 4 years ago now when I started really diving more into, at the time it was ClickFunnels, and now I'm also a Go High Level expert. And wow, like wherever you're building it, like when you buy into my program, I actually gave you my whole template for this, but part of this is photos and copywriting. And there's a whole methodology to it. For my one-to-one clients, I actually do it, myself. So it's where, you highlight testimonials. Tiana helped me put together my first funnels, grew my list, and I made 180K in 90 days. Tiana helped me triple my income in just a couple months. Because of Tiana, I was able to go full-time in my coaching business. Tiana helped me create my entire online brand and made over 8K in a few weeks. You see what I mean? This kind of page, essentially, it qualifies you to them. But then when they go here to fill out the information, and there's a whole system to every single piece of this. Okay. So I'll show you the next page. This is what I mean, that I always have them fill out this before I even get on the sales call. And this is so, so important. A quiz that literally asks a lot of those important questions. I'm asking questions based on this. Like, again, I like to talk about my fitness coach because she had a quiz that had me fill out, how serious am I about my goals? Like, again, this is not just about making money. I've done these quizzes for health and wellness, actually, I filled out a form just recently for a local gym here that they called me right away. Like, funnels work for everybody, friends. It just depends on the content. And you got to ask the right questions. I would ask the right questions in the comments. Asking the right questions will change your life, will change your business, will change your relationships. So essentially, like, you want to make sure that, there's payment pricings are right on here. So I know somebody clicks down here and they only have 197. I send them a link to my mini course. I'm not getting on a call. Okay. So it's just this full funnel. And then it has my calendar, and then it even has a video and my sales PDF. So this front end stuff of building systems that work, well, just like Erica, put in the comments if you relate with Erica. Maybe you've been stuck at 5K and 10K months, and maybe just 2,000. It absolutely, friend, is possible for you to scale faster than you imagine. But I will tell you this, you're going to have to front load some investment of time and money. But literally this year, if you're listening to this and watching this live, it's 2023 still. If you're watching it later, this is timeless information. I'm going to keep this training up. It's going to be on YouTube. It'll be on my podcast. But the thing is, like, these systems will help you truly scale. So if you, like Erica, you've been trying to figure it out and you're like, oh, I need to get these steps right first. No, you don't. Because then you're going another week, you're going another month, you're going another year, and you're not there yet. So don't lie to yourself saying that you just need to do this other thing yourself. If you could have already done it yourself, you would have already done it yourself. I'm going to repeat it. If you could have already done it yourself, you would have already done it yourself. Sometimes we have to just look in the mirror and be honest. The way I had to pull down my my yoga pants and look at this belly and say, I want that gone once and for all. And I'm doing it the natural way. And I'm doing it the way, like, it's going to take some time because it took some time to put it on. And you have to be honest in your business too. You need to pull back the curtains on your systems, on your branding. And by the way, the bummer about all of it actually is we go out in this world, whether it's your body or whether it's your headers or your website, we all see you, friend. So we're not fooling anybody. So if you can just be honest with 100% accountability, zero excuses, and just get real, because then you can make changes. It's not to be shamed. It's not to feel guilty. It's to say, okay, if I could have done it by myself by now, I would have. So maybe I need some help. And sometimes it's not even just new knowledge. And I think that's where people get it wrong. It's like with my trainer, I know a lot of this stuff, but there's definitely been knowledge that I've learned. It's having accountability. It's having encouragement. It's having a deadline, like having a date that I get on stage in a bikini is just accountability. And for all of you friends, if you're like, I paid this woman $25,000 or $50,000, whatever programs you took, there's 8 weeks. I have to stay the course this time, but the thing's going to be launched and now I can scale my business. So instead of looking at things from this front end, like money approach, instead you need to think longer term. Okay, well, we're going into 2024. How would it feel to go into January and have my systems in place, like what Tiana just showed me? I'm Erica, I'm not Tiana today, and this woman can help me. So if that's you, I feel like an altar call now. If that's you, amen. Come to the front, and the way to come to the front is to raise your hand. It is to just put in the comments. You can private message, but you can do it privately. And you can say, that's it. My time is here. I'm coming to the front. The altar call is so funny. Where am I? Oh, it's just fitting. And so, you're like, that's enough. Like, I'm not going to 2024 like this. And in fact, I want to make some money here in 2023. And that's my encouragement to all of you too. You can still have a great holiday season for you and your family. Maybe you want to go on vacation for yourself or for your family. You can actually still make enough this year to end this year strong. And the awesome thing is too, is that working with me is a tax write-off. So if you're looking at your end of year and you want to have a tax write-off, why not just spend some more, use your business credit card, take some out of your savings or even your retirement. And we're going to multiply that money, friend, because my business is built on people who get results. And I would love to work with you if you're a go-getter, no excuses, positive, you're ready to do whatever it takes and you're done winging it. And you're just like, okay, it's go time. Let's do it. Those are the kind of people I like to work with. So I hope this helps somebody really get clear on selling with soul, on that's what I call my sales process. And I'm working on a trademark, by the way. I have my lawyers, yay, because there's a strategy, but there's a heart to all of this, right? And that's what I mean. Like, you work on the strategies. And if you're just a caring, loving person, which most people that I work with are, then everybody that I get to work with is a caring, loving person. I'm like, you besides those cold-hearted snakes. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really work with such warm, amazing people. And even a lot of people haven't hired me yet. You're so warm. You're so loving. We get to carry that into our sales. But the truth is that whatever fear is holding you back from being seen, from making those sales calls, I'm telling you, the world wants what you have. Really, the lie is that, oh, you're going to come across salesy. Well, that's like causing you to shrink, because like the world actually needs what you have, like I have so many incredible clients who have such amazing things to offer. So just try to believe in yourself, create some kind of alter ego, whatever you need to do. And I would love to work with you if I can help you. But even if you just follow the sales advice, again, quick shout out to Chris Harder, who his podcast training that one time years ago, I don't even know if it's still up. It was so old, but just so you know how diligent I was when I heard it, I literally verbatim, I recorded it, I think off my phone, off of a speaker recorder, because it wasn't like offered. And then I copied it because it was before all the Google, or that I was aware of, like where it would notate for you, like AI. And instead I typed out the entire interview. I then highlighted the things, then turned it into my own script. And I'm telling you, my sales went up to 80% close after that. And this is what I teach you guys, but I didn't have the funnel back then, nothing. So, oh my goodness, it's just an amazing journey. And I love to shortcut it for others. So I'll stop talking now, but listen, a mastermind to master your business Business Online. If you're listening to this later, once it's up on the podcast, I'd sure love a review. If this has helped you, when you take the time to comment, when you take the time to review us, I share all this for free from my heart, because there were so many times, just like myself back in that day, where I didn't have the money at that time to invest in a coach. So I was listening to podcasts for free, writing, notating things. So now my passion is giving back and doing podcasts, doing live videos for people who don't. But for my 7-figure club members, those who invest, man, you get everything. My clients get my templates, they get my copywriting, you get all these skills that it took me decades to work on, and you get it all, and we get it all done in 8 weeks. So thank you for listening. I hope this helped you. I'd love to know what a takeaway was. It really fills my heart with warmth to hear your takeaways, to see how you're going to take action on this. And if any of you are in my 7-figure club, just remember that the templates that I took you through today are available in there, and they're in your 7-figure club playbook. You can print it out and put it right beside you. And anybody who wants it, you do have to buy from me in order to get all my templates. But we'll talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you on the next, whatever time you see me. See you later. Tiana with TianaSmithCoaching.com.